Welcome to Unity of Chattanooga, everybody. Happy Sunday. One light brings us all together. One light inside you and me. One light shines in every person that I see. It's the light that shines inside of me. One light brings us all together. One light inside you and me. One light shines in every person that I see. It's the light that shines inside of me. We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside these doors. We welcome you to linger in our family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are, and hold you in our hearts the way you are.
Celebration service. My name is Phaedra Roberts, and I serve as the Vice President on your Board of Trustees. Today, I'm joined by our talented musician, Landis Batts. And we will have a very special guest speaker, Rev Sean O'Shea. We see some new faces here today, and we want you to feel welcome. We're so grateful to see you here today. And we also want to welcome those who are watching us online. As you join in online, please greet each other in the comments section. Tell us where you're from and give us a thumbs up. You can also share the broadcast with any of your friends and family that you think might enjoy the service and the Unity message. Unity provides a positive, practical approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus Christ and the power of prayer. We also honor the universal truths in all religions and respect each individual's right to choose their own spiritual path. Unity teaches a new way of thinking and a new way of being that offers hope, love, peace, abundance, healing, and joy. Unity is where positive-minded people come together to co-create a world that works for all. A catchphrase that we hear often these days is better together. And we're pleased to welcome Rev Sean O'Shea today, who will speak to us on finding common ground and explore what it takes to build the bridges that bring us all together. One of the most profound quotes from A Course in Miracles is in chapter 26, and it states, "The holiest of all the spots on earth is where an ancient hatred has become a present love." So first today we will begin our service with prayer, and I invite our prayer chaplain, Keith Noyes, to come forward and help us to open up to the presence and power of God within as we relax into the knowing that we are always deeply loved and abundantly blessed by Spirit.
Thank you, Favor. Good morning, everyone. We light that Christ candle as we open prayer to remind us of the divine spark and the divine light within. A few days ago, it became obvious that I had to address a health question. And after the shock of the diagnosis and the, wow, what's coming next? I just fell back into gratitude and thankfulness that we found it before it became something far more serious. And that's what I want to rest in today with all of you. It's just gratitude. Each breath is a gift. Just as each heartbeat is a gift. Honor this loving presence that's within you. That's guiding you, that's even there for you when you face challenges. Grateful. Thankful for everything that's brought me to this point. Which has brought each one of us here. To hear these wonderful messages, to hear this wonderful music, to be together and to share our experiences. Grateful for the love that surrounds us. And grateful for that loving spark that lives inside us. So as you go about your day, just take a moment now and then to pause and be grateful for each heartbeat, for each breath. Remind you that you are one with that loving essence that's inside of you, that's birthing you, that continues to be with you no matter what you face. And so it is. Amen.
Some say it's worth fighting for, at least worth dying for. I hold my end of the bargain peacefully. Some say it's about black or white. One is wrong while the other ain't right. They judge a book by the cover, they won't read. I ain't claiming to be Jesus. I the good news, not preaching your gospel. 'Cause when you add it all up, you'll see how much we'll gain when we realize we're one in the same. I left the sanctuary, dug up all the hymns they buried. I miss my sweet mother's cry. She knew how to fight for me. While they were talking, she was on her knees, praying to the God of love to save my life. Oh, I ain't claiming to be Jesus. I believe in miracles. I'm shouting out the good news, not preaching your gospel. 'Cause when you add it all up, you'll see how much we'll gain when we realize we're one in the same. Oh, I ain't claiming to be Jesus. I believe in miracles. I'm shouting out the good news, not preaching your gospel. 'Cause when you add it all up, we'll see how much we'll gain when we realize we're one in the same. Great God Almighty, when we'll realize we're one in the same. Oh Lord, when we'll realize we're one in the same. Amen.
Landis, you're on fire today.
Hey, we like fire. It was cold in here.
Well, today we have a very special guest speaker, as I mentioned earlier, and I just wanted to give you just a little bit of a bio for him. So, Sean O'Shea is an inspirational speaker as well as a performing singer-songwriter. He has morphed his musical passions with his speaking and is now an ordained interfaith minister. And I think Congratulations. Active primarily in New Thought venues, Sean and his wife Lori, who is sitting there beside me today, traveled from their home based in Cookeville, Tennessee, to share good news with their songs and stories. They moved to Nashville from Northeast Connecticut back in 2003 to pursue their music and songwriting careers. In his everyday life, Sean is the official spokesperson for pianos. He can tell us the right way to say it. They own a beautiful and peaceful property called Dragonfly Landing. You just got to check out Lori's dragonflies, after service today. Not only is it their home office and a creative space for their works, their home is available to rent as a countryside getaway or a mini retreat center. In the past, he has opened twice for Dr. Wayne Dyer and has been interviewed on ABC's Good Morning America. Wow. He will be releasing his long-awaited first book in a series based on spiritual people skills later this year. You can learn more about him by visiting www.singspiritual.com. spirit.net. And for more information about Sean's workshops and upcoming book, you can visit www.spiritualpeopleskills.com. At this time, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Reverend Sean O'Shea.
Got to demask. Look who's here. Good morning. Pleasure to be home. Yay! This is a delightful. Oh, yeah, that probably has something to do with it. I think we might want to bring that down just a little bit. Bear with us, technical difficulties. I don't want to launch into anything before I acknowledge that it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to put a church service together, especially a good, effective one. So thank you for your opening prayer, Keith. I had God bumps, and it felt like I'm probably not going to top that. It was perfect, and thank you. Landis, holy smokes. Bless you, sir. Tell me about that last song. Was that something you wrote?
No, that's from the War and Treaty. Michael and Tanya Trotter. I saw them 7 years ago, maybe 10 years ago at Christ Unity. I was number 7 in the audience.
Oh.
Now, they're huge. They're huge, guys. They're blowing up. But Michael and Tanya Trotter, the War and Treaty.
Beautiful stuff. But check it out. It was a whole sermon just in your song. I love when that gets set up that way. So yes, after years of work, I was ordained last Thursday up in Chicago. Thank you. I am and will always be a unity guy. I love unity. It is my first new thought love. I was unable to be ordained in unity. There were just too many hurdles time and time again, starting with the fact that I don't have a college degree. Well, I do now that I finished this ordination. I have a bachelor's in divinity. But before that, I did not, and that made it very difficult. And then I was going to get into the field licensing kind of side door into unity, and the job that I was after up in Cookeville was no longer available to me. And so things just time and time again, and a good dear friend of mine who is the president of the Divine Science Federal Ministers Association said, "What are you doing? Did you know that Charles Fillmore studied divine science before they founded Unity? Did you know that Ernest Holmes, founder of what is now Centers for Spiritual Living, was an ordained divine science minister?" And no, I most certainly did not. And anything that has the name science in it, it automatically gives me a little like, I don't know, are people going to think I'm a Scientologist or something? You know, just like people, you say you go to Unity, oh yes, my cousin's a Unitarian. No, different. But, you know, if you have to explain it, you just smile. Good, that's great. Speaking of which, differences. We have our differences. Lots of them in some cases, right? I remember chatting with this gentleman at the Y in Nashville, and I thought, I have just made a really dear friend here. This guy and I are just clicking, we're laughing and joking, blah, blah, blah. And he says, which I thought was odd, and only after 10 minutes of meeting, he says, "So,
where do you go to church?"
No, it was more like, "So, where do you go to church?" And I said, "I currently go to a place called Unity Church for Positive Living." And he goes, "Unity Church for Positive Living? Is it Christian?" I said, "Well, I know Jesus would surely think so." And I excused myself and got the heck away from him. because I know that probably wasn't going to end up going to a good place. Look at all the stuff that has ensued since, let's be honest, probably about 2015 coming into the 2016 election. Every 4 years we have differences of opinion. That's what makes this country beautiful. We think differently and then we vote on it and then we move on. But something shifted back then, at least in my world. It seemed like the division was so much greater and so much angrier. And I'm not going to take a side here. Some of you may be on one side, some of you may be very emphatically on the other, and that talk has no place in any church, in my opinion. So, I will just say that I was disheartened at the chatter, especially on social media, the really harsh comments if somebody were promoting one particular candidate over another, the name calling, the eye rolls, the out and out blatant nasty insults that were being hurled at one another over who ought to be leading the country. And it hasn't gotten any better. In fact, the 2020 election stirred up such a mess. Again, no matter what side you're on, I think we can agree that it's a mess. Whose fault it is, we don't need to talk about. It's a mess. I've got a very dear friend who's been a bud of mine for probably 25, I've been married almost 25 years, so it'll be more like 35 years. We have walked each other through a lot of stuff. We compared notes on what it was like to get divorced and, all how life heals and you move on. And we've taken each other through new businesses and business closures. And he's just been a dear friend. We're a little different in some ways, but so alike in so many others. When the election came up, it became very clear that we were passionately different. And when the election happened in 2020, I got a very frantic and very angry phone call from him about how the election was stolen. And I never thought I would live long enough to see the day that, I guess I just kind of gave myself away, didn't I? That's okay. And it was so angry, and it was so, what are we going to do? And kind of thing. And it's, we, Bob, need to agree to disagree. And he went on a little further. Yeah, but. And I did a little bit of my grumbling and moaning, and I said, Bob, we need to agree to disagree. Yeah, but just a little more, because it's all built in and I need to let it go. Fine, let it out. Let it out. So what do you say? Shall we agree to disagree? Big sigh. He said, yeah, that'd probably be best. Good plan. How many times do we look first and foremost for the differences? I'm guilty. Oh, I suspect she might be different than me. I heard she voted for X. We all know Y was the better choice. I don't know. Did you see the bumper sticker on her SUV? I think she's one of them. Better be careful. I do it. I'm guilty. I often, based on bumper stickers, decide whether or not that person could possibly become my friend. That's my fault. That's my bad. There's a very slim chance this man would watch this broadcast, but I'm going to go for it. I live next door to someone who is the polar opposite of me when it comes to religion. His way is the only way. He's very kind to me, knowing that I'm going to hell. And politically supercharged difference, and we've expressed it. We've talked openly at the fence while I'm over there patting his cows that are about to be sent off the, but. And here's the thing, I truly love that guy, and I think the feeling is mutual. And how that came to be. And to his credit, he did the same thing with me. We fished not for our differences. We fished and we made an effort to find out what we had in common. He put in just as much effort as I did. We just lost our golden retriever a couple weeks ago. He's got a golden retriever. It's all black. Did you know they make golden retrievers in black? Wouldn't that be a black retriever? I don't understand that exactly, but this dog is a full-fledged golden retriever, and he's all black. He's beautiful. And so we have spent all kinds of time talking about that and comparing notes on how much they shed and how much they eat and how wonderful they are. This man is a very proud grandpa. I'm a very proud grandpa. This guy lost his wife to cancer. It was the same cancer that I lost my mom to. And he kept her car even though she died years ago. And this car is like a 2004. And it is, no, it isn't. It's a 1994. Okay, so that's something that'll push it back another decade. And it looks new. I mean, it's unbelievable. Every time I see that car come out of the garage, I run over. I'm like, Bob, this is crazy. This thing looks like new. And I'm rubbing my hand on this. The finish is just amazing. We find this stuff to talk about. And we sidestep the other stuff. It came up just yesterday. It was hilarious. Laurie got a kick out of it because I was out on my zero-turn mower and Bob was out on his. And he was kind of around my side of the fence because he mows up alongside there for me. And we saw each other, nodded, and next thing you know, we park side by side on our zero-turn mowers, take our headsets off, and we're chit-chatting there for what ought to be 5 or 10 minutes, and an hour later. And he did kind of touch on something, because I had posted something on our town website about being available to officiate weddings. Somebody asked, do you officiate gay weddings? And I said, I will message you privately, because I didn't want to start a big thing. Because whether I said yes or I said no, somebody would have had something to say, and a lot of it wouldn't have been very nice. So I just said, I'll message you privately. So he said, I see somebody asked you that. There's a big can of worms there, huh? I said, yeah, we agreed. Right? We agreed. There's a big can of worms. Like, yes, you're right. It's a big, ugly can of worms. But I also want to be true to myself. There was a time I wanted so much to have some friends. I wanted so much to get along with people that I would morph. Anybody else ever do that in your life? You just kind of, yeah, I'll just pretend I'm one of you. I'll just, oh, really? I don't know. I could be standing here with a cup of coffee and you'd say, I hate coffee. Yeah, me too. Ick. I would just so desperately, I just want us to get along. So I would morph. Well, I don't do that anymore. In fact, I swung so hard the other way to find out who I am and to put my foot down and be me that I kind of got into being confrontational. Oh, yay! I get to tell you you're wrong! Well, that's, how to win friends and influence people? No, not right, wrong. So I finally swung back somewhere in the middle where I can find common ground. I can find the common denominators without giving up who I am. So in that spirit, I said to my friend, my dear friend, really, honestly, if it were two people who were committed to each other and we hit it off, it would be an honor to do their wedding. He said, well, all you'd have to say is show me in the Bible where it says it's okay, and then maybe you could tell him you'd do it. I'm like, no, I said, see, you can't really show me in the Bible where it says it's not okay. Except for the really old passage that's right under the part about selling your daughter into slavery. So I don't use the Bible as a weapon. And I think you and I should probably move on to another topic. He goes, yeah, we should. And we both smiled. And we talked. I don't forget what was next. I think he was asking how we were doing since we lost our dog and how Laurie was doing. And we moved on to the next thing. Every single day, you have an opportunity to find something that is the same. If this were a workshop day, and I think this would be a really fun and productive workshop, we paired people off into groups. We put one around this table, one around this table, and one up in the other corner kind of a thing. And we made a list of everything about yourself. Your likes, your dislikes, your background, everything. We could circle way more things that we have in common than we have that would pull us apart. Especially if our focus was finding and attracting at one-ment. Connection. Love. Instead of, make me a list and I want to take a look at that and see where you might be different. Because if you're looking for that, if you're focused on that, I promise you'll find it. I was a pro at finding it. I was always ready for a fight. Hey, guess what? I always had... Always! Why does this always happen to me? I know. If each one of us could just see God in the other person. Child of God has become almost just a buzz phrase, just something you throw out, right? Unity, well, almost all the New Thought teachings. And some more traditional churches have adopted that child of God thing, which is nice to see. But I'm here to remind you to stop just hearing that and have it go flying past you or throwing it out there and not understanding what that means. If you are a child of God and I am a child of God, then we are brothers. No matter how many differences we can come up with. If Jesus was the Son of God, guess what? He's our elder brother. You could learn a lot from your elder brother, yes? Wouldn't life be perfect if we followed the real Jesus example of how to treat one another? Oh my gosh. He gave us this perfect formula. The kingdom of heaven is where? Within. Be kind. Be gentle. Love one another as I have loved you. And your life will be heaven. There it is. I'm not waiting until I die to go to heaven. I'm in it. When I look out at you guys, I'm in it. Life is good. I am so blessed. And so are you. So, when you're up against the one who seems really different and is ready for a fight, disappoint them. Disappoint them greatly. My new friend and neighbor and I have done that. I'll bet he laughs a lot of times, over things I say or an outfit I'm wearing or whatever it is, and I love it. Chuckle all you want because I know you love me. I know you do. And dude, I love you back. He's a fine human being. He's a good dad. He's a good grandpa. And he's got a big, big heart. So yeah, we've got some stuff that's different. I get to choose whether or not that prevents love from showing up. He gets to choose that too, and he chose love. Kudos. Kudos, my friend. So every single day, whether it's a quick meeting in a grocery store or a stranger, or it's a family member that you've been fighting with for years, you have an opportunity to dig, look at that person and recognize the child of God and focus on the at-one-ment, the sameness. We've all got, most of us, I assume, have siblings with whom we don't necessarily enjoy. Maybe fight with, maybe pick on each other, maybe, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, that's my sister. That's my brother. We're family. We get through it. God, I wish he weren't coming on Thanksgiving, but oh well, Oh, last year he ate all the stuffing before I even had a chance. And, you find things to laugh about. You can actually chuckle about your differences. Even right down to they voted for who? Oh, how dare they think differently than me? The nerve. I was reading an article last night, and the article started with something that actually had me belly laugh. I went and I got Laurie. I made her read it, and she was laughing. This writer's named Elaine Smukler. Gender identity, the environment, politics, guns, and gluten. These breezy topics are great for family dinners, water cooler chit-chat, and neighborly howdy-doos. Yes, they're perfect conversation starters. She's very sarcastic. I love that. And she goes on to find, ways to see the good, find ways to get along. And she ends the article with this: a mindful practice to open, O-P-E-N, open, open up, open your mind, open up to find out what shows up for you. Especially things that challenge you, or being, as somebody who seems complete polar opposite of what you think or feel. P, pause. Pause, take a break, take a breath, and listen to the other person. Take it in, formulate how you feel. Remember, you are a child of God, but whether you like it or not, so are they. E, engage. Ask questions. Find something you've got the same about. Maybe they're screaming bloody murder, this country's going to hell, blah, 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 right? And it's all because of your guy. You could say something like, I love this country. I think you do too. Well, of course I do. Awesome. You see the shift? It's such a simple little thing. And if they go, yeah, but no, I know, I see you. You love this country. And I admire your passion. Thanks. N, notice. Notice the benefits of exploring a wider view. I got to tell you guys a funny story. We have a transfer station, which is like, basically it's like going to the dump, which they take the trash to the landfill or whatever goes on. But it's right down the street from my house. And I pulled up to unload my hatchback, and a woman in front of me was kind of parked in the middle of everything, and she was shuffling back and forth to her little station wagon, taking like one item at a time, and then she'd drop it, and then she so I was parked kind of far back because I wanted to give her space to shuffle back and forth, and so, she's really taking her time. But I'm kind of amused, and a guy behind me is in this big pickup truck. He pulls up, and I can see him. And he wants me, clearly, by his gestures, he wants me to move up and fill that car length of space that this woman's shuffling back and forth in. And I don't want to. I want to just wait a minute and let her finish. This guy behind me, and I see him going. And now, even if I want to move up, I'm not gonna. That's not nice, I know, but I'm just being really straight with you. Not gonna do it. I think if that woman drove off at that moment, I probably wouldn't move up. And now I'm annoyed, I'm getting angry, but I'm also kind of amused by this guy, because holy smokes. So finally he just screamed. I see him screaming in the truck, and he throws it in the park. And he gets out, and he's red-faced. And he just takes all the stuff out of the back of his pickup truck, and he's going to walk all the way up there, like 15 feet, because I wouldn't move. And he's red-faced. And I got out of my car. I figured I'm going to help the woman finish getting her stuff up, and then I'll throw mine away. And so as I do that, he looks at me, and he's getting ready to lambaste me. And I said, "That truck is beautiful." And it was really I don't ever see myself owning a pickup truck or driving a pickup, but this thing was gorgeous, right? And shiny, deep candy apple red one. So I was really like That thing is gorgeous. And I see him. Thanks. He was so disappointed. And maybe disappointed, and he was so ready for a fight. You just said something nice. Darn you. And I wonder what shifted for him. The guy likes my truck. I thought he was some commo wacko musician guy from Nashville. He said something nice. Did he, maybe the rest of the day, replay that and rethink things? Did he observe me helping the woman unload her car? He could have done that. You guys each have the opportunity, time and time again, to make the right choice. Find the things we have in common and show up as the love that you are. And you are. Namaste. Could I get like a little piano and strings layer? Do you have a layer? That'd be cool. So now, check. Now is the time that we enter into a time of meditation together. Yes?
Yes.
I was thinking about you all during the beautiful drive down here on 111. It's just such a delightful trip. I love coming here. And as I looked at the trees and the hills and the scenery and beautiful deer alongside the road, all that, I was reminded how blessed I am. How blessed I am to surround myself with like-minded people. Like-minded people are so much easier to find common ground with. But the reality is, our world may present us with opportunities to find that common ground with somebody who does not seem like-minded at all. We can do this. Years ago, a friend of mine just kind of fell off the face of the earth. We were dear friends, and he just kind of disappeared. And it bothered me. It had been probably a year and a half since I heard anything from him. And I was with a dear friend of mine with great like mind. And I was describing to him how upset I felt that this friend had just vanished, and the phone was disconnected, and the family wasn't answering my calls, and I was fearing the worst. But he said, well, you and I don't really do this a lot, but maybe we ought to practice what we preach. What do you mean? He said, let's truly envision his wellness, his well-being, and a reconnection. Because obviously this is a good friend for you. I said, I love that. So we got into this quiet, meditative mindset. And I said, here's what I see. We are sending beams of light up and out and over throughout the universe to wherever this friend is. And he sees it or feels it or somehow is called like a lost ship in the ocean back to shore. He said, oh man, that gave me goosebumps. Yes. "90 minutes later, that friend called me. Oh, I'm as serious as a heart attack. I said, what are you doing? He said, I don't know. I just had this weird sense come over me that I needed to call you. I'm okay. I got involved in this weird cult thing out here in California. They took away my, for real, this is a true story. They took away my phone. I'm in a payphone, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, I just felt like I better call you. I said, oh man, dude. So my friend came back into my life, and but the first thing I did is I called my friend that I did the prayer with. I said, okay, are you sitting down? And I can't repeat exactly what he said in response to the news that I just got the call, because I might offend a couple of you, one or two. But it was pretty hilarious, his response. So here's the reason I bring up that story. I need us to connect in the ethers for this moment, because this place needs a new home. This place needs a permanent, right, and perfect home that you can use and meet in and teach in and connect in 7 days a week. The church in the box thing, it's really tough. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of scheduling. It's a lot of planning. So number one, you need your own place. And you put it out there that we were going to raise 10 grand. Seemed a little lofty at the time. But you did it. But here's the thing. That place needs to be full. So don't go getting yourself some little dinky place that holds 15 people. Because it works now. Think about the next generation for Unity of Chattanooga and plan accordingly. So let's send our light out right now. We are here. We are willing and able to serve. So God, we ask for your help in connecting with some like-minded and even some different-minded folks who can both learn here and teach us here, so that we may grow and prosper in our at-one-ment here at Unity of Chattanooga. We are not speaking to God like he is Santa Claus in the sky and we are pleading for this. We are setting an intention and we are co-creating with God this reality. Do you understand the difference? It isn't, oh, please God, come on, can you, would you? It is God's great pleasure to give you the keys to the kingdom. You just need to know which keys you want. And right here and right now, we declare it is done. We are becoming a new thought, beacon of light to the entire Chattanooga area. And I cannot wait to be back here celebrating your new place with new faces, so full of love and joy and prosperity. Whoa, I've got God bumps knowing it is so. We close such an affirmation and intention setting with the simple words, and so it is. Together, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Hey, that's good.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Well, now's the time in our service where we celebrate and acknowledge that we live in a prosperous universe as we practice the law of giving and receiving. So many people think of prosperity in terms of getting what we want, but in unity, we really know that prosperity begins by opening that door in our consciousness to give to where we have been spiritually fed. Jesus simply said, "Give, and it will be given unto you." When we practice generosity, we open ourselves up to a greater flow of abundance to come into our lives. So I invite you now to consider making a financial contribution to Unity of Chattanooga, bringing blessings not only to your life, but to this ministry, allowing us to continue to bring you uplifting messages, healing meditations, and soul-filled music. Please take your gift and offering in your hand, and let's bless our gifts together with our affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I receive in abundance.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I just want to thank you, God.
Come on, ladies, come on.
Thank you,
Come on, ladies.
God.
Sing it, brother. Come on.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I just want to thank you, God.
And so we give thanks for these tithes and offerings so freely given. We know and affirm that they go forward to bless each and every person here and online, to bless our families and those we come in contact with. And from us goes forth to bless this community and the world. For this and much more, we are so grateful. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Oh, let's sing together. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Oh, thank you, God. I just want to thank you, God.
And now we have just a few announcements that we're pleased to say that all those who were sick over the last 2 weeks are doing fine now. Yay! And our weekly activities will be back on track this week, starting with the midweek Faith Lift podcast with Shannon and Rev and Doug on our Facebook page on Wednesday around 4. And then on Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Whole Foods on Manufacturers Road in the upper mezzanine, we will have our casual get-together with like-minded people.
Yes.
I also want to make you aware that there is an annual 3-day Unity Retreat coming up in September. This year it's going to be held at Lake Junaluska in North Carolina. It's got keynote speakers, great music, special workshops, and you'll get to meet Unity people from all around Tennessee, Georgia, North and South Carolina. And there's more information about that on the table there in the back. We have a prayer box in the back on the center table, and you can write down any special prayer requests that you have and place that in the box. We are also happy to have our prayer chaplains pray with you in person today. Today, Terry Lovelace and Keith Noyes is here today for that. Next week, Rev Doug is back with us, and we'll be getting to that third agreement from the 4 agreement series he's doing, and it's don't make assumptions. Make sure to hang around for potluck after today's service, and there's always plenty of food to go around, so please stay for that. As we close out, we always sing the peace song today, just with our COVID in mind. We'll just stand in place and sing our song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God our Creator. In oneness all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We're so grateful for all the work behind the scenes to put a service like this together. Landis, for your talent. Shannon, you're like unbelievable doing all that, whatever the heck you're doing there. But it sure looks good, so thank you for that. Thank you. So we go forth now. See, this is the easy part, talking about it. That's easy. Now's the hard part.
You sound like your neighbor.
Yeah. Putting our faith into practice. I challenge you with confidence because I know you've got the stuff to do it. Go forth, savor every moment of knowing the child of God that you are. And so it is.
Hey, so it is.